I am Kate Belisario, and my topic is profitability ratio and trend ratio analysis of a manufacturing company. My objectives are, at the end of the report, the students must be able to analyze financial statements of a manufacturing company using profitability ratio and to analyze financial statements of a manufacturing company using trend ratio analysis. My company is Titan Rubber Industrial Manufacturing Corporation, which is located at 4003 Raminil Road, BO, Reales, Valenzuela City. Its industry classification is a rubber manufacturer with the type of business as a corporation, and it was established in the year 1960 and it was registered in June 22, 1989. The size of the company is a medium-sized enterprise with an initial capitalization of 58,740,000 pesos, and its present net worth is 105,789,527.82 pesos. It covers about 11.55% of the total share of the rubber manufacturer in the country. So here is the balance sheet of the Titan Rubber Industrial Manufacturing Corporation from 2007 to 2011, and its income statement from 2007 to 2011. Now let's proceed to profitability ratios. First is the rate of return on sales. The rate of return on sales is computed by dividing the net income from net sales. It evaluated the company's operations and efficiency and reflecting the ability to manage cost and overhead. This is a measure of how much the company is profiting from its sales. So, the net income of the company is 9.5 million from 2007, 12.1 million in 2008, 8.8 million in 2009, 22.7 million in 2010, and 31.3 million in 2011. And for the net sales, 245.9 million in 2007, 274.8 million in 2008, 252 million in 2009, 339.3 million in 2010, and 426.4 million in 2011. For the results, we have 0.04 in 2007, 0.04 in 2008 and 2009, and 0.07 in 2010 and 2011. The rate of return on sales is very low and stable from 2007 to 2009, and it increases 3% in 2010 and stays the same in 2011. So, the result is unfavorable. The company spends large portion of its net sales to maintain its total operations, specifically the cost of sales and its operating expenses. It indicates that the company is not too effective in converting revenue into actual profit. The next is the rate of return on total assets. It is computed by dividing the net income from its average total assets. This gives investors an idea of how effectively the company in using its assets to generate earnings. So, the net income of the company is 9.5 million in 2007, 12.1 million in 2008, 8.8 million in 2009, 22.8 million in 2010, and 31.3 million in 2011. The average total assets of the company is 344.6 million in 2007, 337 million in 2008, 329.7 million in 2009, 311.5 million in 2010, and 319.9 million in 2011. For the results, we have 0.03 from 2007, 0.08 in 2008, 0.03 in 2009, 0.07 in 2010, and 0.10 in 2011. Despite the decline in 2009, the company still managed to increase their return on assets from 0.03 to 0.10 in 2011. Since it is a manufacturing company, it shows a very low return. Therefore, it is unfavorable. The company was not efficient in using its assets to generate earnings because of the decreasing amount of total assets brought by the depreciating fixed assets. The next one is the gross profit margin. It is computed by dividing the gross profit from its net sales. It is a good indication of how profitable the company is at the most fundamental level and how effectively a company is in using its resources, materials, and labor. It measures the company's manufacturing and distribution efficiency during the production process. So, the gross profit of the company is 52.9 million in 2007, 65.4 million in 2008, 54.8 million in 2009, 69.5 million in 2010, and 83.8 million in 2011. Its net sales are 245.9 million in 2007, 274.8 million in 2008, 252 million in 2009, and 339.3 million in 2010, and 426.4 million in 2011. For the results, we have 0.22 in 2007, 0.24 in 2008, 0.22 in 2009, 0.20 in 2010, and in 2011. The company has unfavorable values of gross profit. This brought by the continuous increase in cost of sales, which absorbs a great portion of the company's net sales. Its cost of sales is increasing due to production, maintenance, and conversion of raw materials into finished goods. The next one is the operating margin. Operating margin is computed by dividing the operating income from net sales. It measures what portion of the company's revenue is left over after deducting direct costs and overhead and before taxes and other indirect costs, such as interest. It indicates how successful the management has been in generating income from operating the business. So, its operating income are 28.4 million in 2007, 31.6 million in 2008, 22.7 million in 2009, 43.4 million in 2010, and 56 million in 2011. For the net sales, we have 246 million in 2007, 274.8 million in 2008, 252 million in 2009, 339.3 million in 2010, and 426.4 million in 2011. For the results, we have 0.12 in 2007, 0.11 in 2008, 0.09 in 2009, 0.13 in 2010, and in 2011. So, the operating profit margin of the company is unfavorable. This indicates that the company is ineffective at controlling operating expenses relative to sales due to the increasing amount of its operating expenses. And for the last one on profitability ratio, the rate of return on owner's equity. So, it is computed by dividing the net income from average owner's equity. So, it is the amount of net income returned as percentage of shareholders' equity. Rate of return on equity measures a corporation's profitability by revealing how much profit a company generates with money the shareholders have invested in. So, the net income of the company for 2007 is 9.5 million, 12.1 million in 2008, 8.8 million, and 31.3 million in 2011. The average owner's equity for 2007 is 61.9 million, 72.2 million in 2008, 81 million in 2009, 95 million in 2010, and 119.1 million in 2011. So the rate of return on equity is favorable, which indicates that the company is spending wisely and efficient on generating income on investment. Although there's a decrease in 2009 due to the decrease in their sales, which causes also the net income decrease, they still managed to regain it in 2010. The next one is the trend ratio. The trend ratio is computed by dividing the base year, dividing the current year from the base year, which is 2007. So the net sales are ultimately increasing and mostly composed of big operating expenses. Since it is primarily accommodating as well, it causes the lowering amount of net profit to decrease in 2009, but it is in 2010 and 2011, there is a sudden decrease in its operating expenses, causing the net profit to rise. Then based on the trend ratios, cost of sales generated the highest percentage of distribution, showing increases from year to year, which highly contributed the continuous increase in the cost of goods sold because of production, maintenance, and conversion of raw materials into finished goods. On the same manner, operating expenses is affecting the overall income generated by the firm. So, for our summary of findings, under favorable, the company is efficient in generating income and investment. And under unfavorable, the company spends large portion of its net sales to maintain its total operation. Next, the company is not efficient in using its assets to generate earnings. Next, the cost of sales is increasing due to production, maintenance, and conversion of raw materials into finished goods. The company is ineffective at controlling operating expenses relative to sales, and the last one is the net sales are ultimately increasing and mostly composed of big operating expenses. For our statement of the problem, in general, the company has no profitability. On our specific, cost of sales obtain large portion of the revenue. The company is inefficient in using its assets to generate earnings, and the company is inefficient at controlling the cost relative to sales. For our conclusion, the company has low profitability because the cost of sales obtain large portion of the revenue. It is not efficient in using its assets to generate earnings. Cost of sales is increasing due to production, maintenance, and conversion of raw materials into finished goods, and ineffective at controlling operating costs relative to sales. And the company is efficient in generating income and investment. So that's all.